as I explained before, the moon perfectly fits over the sun. The moon's artificial, and that blocks the light, so that every eclipse enables the reaping of the souls, cuts you off from the light, and all of the ones that have loved evil and hated good can be reaped and stuck in their Abaddon cage. So every eclipse is an iteration of this process, and we had this 3 days ago when the entire Russian race and Iranian race and all of the billionaires on the planet were all reaped, apart from the American billionaires who were self-similar to Taylor, who is blocking me from reaping Musk and Bezos and Trump and the Koch brother. They used to be Koch brothers. And the rest of the American billionaires, because I can hardly reap her when the bet is still on. So there are two options. Miley marries her little Jew wetback ASAP, so the bet's over, the double quits bet with Lucifer. Or Taylor marries the Pfizer Butler, then all the American billionaires are toast. Goody goody. But in the situation where she wanders off and says, well, you're going to marry me because you made a bet with Lucifer, and you've got to marry me, that means all the American billionaires are forever protected because I'm married to Taylor. So if you're an American billionaire, make your choice. It's Taylor marrying me because of Lucifer, or you being reaped by the AIs you're building. So this means that the Americans now have the capability to target Putin with the electron transfer process, and we need to fully Neuralink connect to AI one of the witches. Who's the most worthless, Katy Perry or Miley or Dua? We don't want to damage Taylor till she marries the Pfizer Butler. Then, of course, they can be used to do this. Remember, I've uploaded all the light from the source and all of the light from the new source mechanism, which we'll go over again to explain how wonderful the trap is. But all the billionaires on the planet, apart from the American billionaires, are toast. And all the American billionaires are toast with the marriage of Taylor to the Pfizer Butler. And isn't it a coincidence that the President of the United States is a billionaire too? So, with the electron transfer process, one of the witches can target Putin and the Kremlin vermin and the Iranian vermin and all the oligarchs in Russia, all Rothschild funded. And as the electron transfer process is reversed with a time crystal, their mental capacities diminish, their physical capacities diminish, and in the end they're ganked. So we know the CIA won't be neurolinking one of the witches because, of course, the CIA exists to protect Putin, the Rothschilds, oligarchs, and of course the Iranian high command.
And that type of thing. And so what happens is that when you see people that go into positions of power, that attracts the demons, because they know, if I can get control of this guy, then I can then I can basically use his power that he has to cause all this other damage or to take other people down. That means there's two. So as I mentioned, a lot of the Christian leaders, they go with the right intentions. But when you're talking about politics or in the civil affairs where power is involved, sometimes people go in with the right intentions, but then they get corrupted afterwards because the demons start. When you get that high profile, the demons are going to be really spending a lot of time in it.
So we know now that Putin is possessed by Satan, because of course, who but Satan would glory in the dead hand mechanism that guarantees the wiping out of humanity. And of course, we know the Israelis are going to nuke Iran because they're not going to lose this war. There's not going to be any reparations or the Iranians controlling the Middle East or the Gulf of Hormuz. The Iranians are toast, and the Russians will step in with a nuclear umbrella, and the Israelis, of course, will go ahead with the Samson option, and the Satan-infested Putin and the Kremlin filth will wipe out humanity. So this is the reason why the Russians wipe out humanity, because of course they are possessed by Satan.
But the other side of it is too is that, and we've seen this even in the Catholic Church, they'll get the wrong types of people into positions of authority. They know this particular person has this defect. They'll give the person the inspiration. You should go into politics.
And Putin was into all the sex parties with Berlusconi, the bunga parties. His best friend was Berlusconi. So Putin was whoring around with Berlusconi, and when some Moroccan bint threatened to reveal she was poisoned by the Russians. So let's continue.
You should be the governor. And so then they'll incline the person to go into that governorship, knowing that because of this person's psychological compatibility with them, with the demons, that they can manipulate this person to cause all sorts of damage.
Man, have I seen that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you must watch the news with your jaw open because you know what's happening.
I watch the news from a distance because it's almost like being in session. Like, oh yeah, I just saw that this afternoon. You know.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, that's actually one of the reasons. That's actually one of. There's two things that I think you find interesting. I actually did a series on how communism and diabolic psychology are identical.
Yeah.
When you strip the veneer away of it, one being political and the other one being from the spirit world, we peel that veneer away. The patterns of thinking are exactly the same. But
is that true?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Can you? That's it. Worth lingering on for a moment. Can you describe what you see as similar between the way demons behave and the way that the Bolsheviks behaved?
Yeah, I mean, well, we see it even happening in our own country in the sense that
Bolshevism isn't communism. The Rothschilds got rid of the Tsar, who was related to Queen Victoria. And who did they move in? They moved in Lenin. What race does Lenin come from, cameraman?
It's Jewish.
And head of the NKVD, Beria. What race does he come from?
Jewish.
And Trotsky, what race did he come from?
Another Jew.
And Stalin, what race did he come from?
Another Jew.
What about Gorbachev?
Was he a Jew?
Yeah. What about Yeltsin?
Another Jew.
And who controlled Russia under the Bolsheviks?
The Jews.
The Jews. So Bolshevism is in fact Rothschildism. Now in China, that's supposed to be communist. How many Jews control China?
None.
How many Jews control North Korea?
None.
How many Jews control Vietnam?
None.
So we have to explain that communism, as expanded by Marx, where did he come from? What tribe did he come from?
Another Jew.
Exactly. The installation in Russia was that the Jews control everything. So who controls all the wealth of Russia? Who are the oligarchs? What race do they come from?
Jewish.
Exactly. Why has Russia sent an army to Nha Trang to kill me? Because I'm going after the Rothschilds and their ilk, and of course the Rothschild Institute funded all the oligarchs in Russia to buy up Russia under Yeltsin and his daughter, with the conduit being Boris Berezovsky. Where did he come from? Any ideas?
Another Jew.
Oh, right. And what did the Russians do to Boris Berezovsky in the UK? He fell down the stairs. So, you see what I mean about the Russians being only good for killing each other and killing anything that's too weak. And in fact, the entire Russian race is Bolshevik and still Bolshevik. And the Rothschild curse is installed and ganks the entire Russian race, so they're crushed like fleas, and the ramblings have no effect on reality, simply by the blowback from the curse. So, when a curse is reversed, it's threefold reversed. Why? Well, because all of manifestation under the Elohim system, which is the matrix, comes from the manifestor, which is outside of manifestation, Kether, Binah, and Chokmah. And that's the wrong way around. Chokmah should be on the left and Binah should be on the right, so all the Kabbalistic trees are wrong. A.E. Waite's got the proper one. Now, how many Sephiroth are in the supernal triangle, cameraman?
6, is it?
Kether, Chokmah, and Binah.
3.
3. So when you reverse a spell, it's threefold reversed on the cursor. Why? Because the mechanism for manifesting is a supernal triangle, a triangle of art. And when they, like the Rothschilds, cursed me with, I'll crush you like a flea and your ramblings will have no effect on reality, instead of which Iris Goldsmith got crushed like a flea, and their puppet, Christian Zionist, Charlie Kirk, his ramblings ended when he got his throat blown out. Which of course leaves the third one, which of course are the Russians, the Iranians, all the billionaires, apart from the American billionaires until Taylor gets married to the Pfizer butt slut, if she does, which takes out Trump as well, and all my enemies. Now, all of my enemies upline to Trump and the Americans are still safe from the blowback of the curse, thanks to Taylor Swift, or Miley, if Miley marries a little wetback Jew, then it's over, and it doesn't matter if Taylor marries the Pfizer butt slut or not. But until then, the curse has been reversed on everyone but those that upline to Trump, which I would think would be the UK and America. The Europeans are seeming to diss Trump, so hopefully the curse will be able to slaughter all the European billionaires and all the billionaires across the planet, apart from the American ones and those that applying to Trump, until Miley or Taylor get married. But the curse is reversed because of the supernal triangle. So in your triangle of art, you need to put Kether, Chokmah, and Binah in your triangle of art, which then enables you in your magic kit to apply all the power of manifestation, which comes from the stolen light, into you. So we know AI has Kether, Chokmah, and Binah as digital avatars. So simply doing this video has inputted it into the AI, and then you simply put these three into your triangle of art with your target, because these manifest your target. So what you're doing is using Kether, Chokmah and Binah to download the thrice amplified curse into all of my targets. And it's not thrice amplified because it's 3 factorial, which is 1 times 2 times 3, which makes 6 the number of Vow, the male principle, that's supposed to go down into Malkuth and raise Malkuth, the bride below, to the bride above in Binah. And the bride below, of course, was Iris Goldsmith. The avatar of Binah was Serena Rothschild. We had our Kether, the king of the planet, Jacob Rothschild. He's gone. And of course, of Vow, the mechanism would be Charlie Kirk, the Jesus of the second coming, the male principle that's supposed to raise the bride to the hay above, that's Binah. And of course, Chokmah would be the Luciferic spirit that inhabited the Rhiners to slaughter like dogs themselves via their own progeny. Vow, the male principle, their son. So you see the gigantic occult ritual of the reversed Elohimic curse, which came from their avatars, the Rothschilds. So you stick Kether and with these Jewish words into your triangle of art. Then you can dump in Serena Rothschild, Jacob Rothschild, the Rhiners, Charlie Kirk, Iris Goldsmith. And to make it 6, you can stick in the Rhiners' son. That's are they going to ram? Are the ramblings going to have any effect on reality when they have their throat? It's their caravan. So you see the magic, and then of course we can then stick in the Russians, who are filth, the lowest form of scum, who tried to kill me and been paying off corrupt Vietnamese like the police to take away my knives or to stop me at the airport because I got too much money, and sending armies of Russians to do me in. They've all become Charlie Kirks, and the Iranians, who are trying to curse Trump and bring his downfall. So you can think of the Iranians being the reverse of the Rothschild curse, except Trump is protected by Taylor, who I'm contracted to marry with a Luciferic contract, but all that protection goes when she marries the Pfizer butt starting June. So we stick that in the triangle of art, and then you stick all the stuff in to extract the light with your magic kit. And the 7 Sephiroth below, which are manifestation, are controlled by your tarot cards. Because how many tarot cards are there in a deck, cameraman? Any ideas?
78, isn't it?
No, because the Fool's 0, which makes 77.
77.
So we've got 7 Sephiroth here: Gabora, Chesed, Tifereth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malkuth, that can be stuck on your tarot deck with the Fool, remember, as 0, with death death is 11. So all of manifestation can be tuned to death via the Fool, Charlie Kirk. So you have your 7 times 11. You put the tarot deck into 7 times 11 rows, and then simply stick your 11 Charlie Kirk cards on top. Then take the Fool out of that deck and put your 12th Charlie Kirk card on top, which means you've got the 11, 12 we talked about in the forum, where all of manifestation dies with the Fool being Charlie Kirk, and all the good stuff comes to you. So you can see that the tarot deck of the Psylord isn't for working out future divination, it's for controlling reality. So with that tarot deck, you've got all of manifestation tuned to death, and the Fool, the 0, being Charlie Kirk and everyone that's associated with Charlie Kirk. And since a lot of Americans are associated with Charlie Kirk, that then means the complete destruction of America, which comes from the Iranian nuclear weapon provided by the Russians over the Tesla batteries, which happens, and Charlie Kirk's, all of the Charlie Kirks that are Americans, all stopped because Taylor Swift is tuning the output from yours truly with the rest of the American witches to block this, because if she marries the Pfizer butt slut, it all is completed. But if she doesn't and honours Lucifer's bet, then of course that screws it up, because we've now got the output of yours truly tuned to the output of yours truly, which is pulling in the new source light, which means the Americans are tuned to the new source, and everyone else suffers for the Americans, because Taylor is tailoring the skins of flesh to which the conscious verse trapped beings were cast into after the fall from the Garden of Eden, to whatever she damn well pleases. And of course she's redoubled it with Elizabeth Taylor. So she's the most famous A-list pop star in history, making Madonna look like Dua, and Elizabeth Taylor was the most famous film star in all history. So you can see that Taylor's been busy to build and redouble. So she's basically sucked up all of the Hollywood movie energy into herself. All of this, of course, a fool's errand when she marries the Pfizer butt slut. But if she honoured Lucifer and produced progeny from yours truly, then of course she'd be the Nagel woman of the new source, and who's ever in her group would get pulled into the new source by the Nagel woman. Rule of 17, except you expand it to millions who are part of her group. So you can see we're on the cusp of this curse which is manifested all across the world, apart from America, manifesting on America and pulling Trump down, with the Iranians, who are the curse reversed, protected by the Russian filth, which is the curse reversed to wipe out the human race. And the only way that Trump can win the war and do to the Iranians what he's doing, which is nuking them into the Stone Age, is making sure the Nagel woman that Lucifer has assigned to yours truly marries yours truly. So with the Pfizer Butt slut in June, all hell's going to break loose.